Hey, 10-minute daily reality check here. Hope you all had a great Labor Day weekend. Man, I am so excited. You know what tonight is? Hey, Jay, you know what tonight is for me? You have any idea what tonight is?
I don't know.
All right. It is my 15th Coat Tight League fantasy football draft. For those of you who don't remember Rich Kotite went down, right? You remember him because you're an Eagles fan, right?
That's right.
Okay.
Terrible coach.
Okay, so remember Kotite had that terrible year? I think the Eagles were like 4-12 or 3-13,
Yeah.
right? And he got fired, and then the Jets hired him,
Yep.
right? And you're thinking like, who the fuck hires this guy? He's terrible, right? So Kotite was responsible for the worst Jets season in the history of football, 1-15, right? So we have a New York-based league, a couple of Jet fans in it, so it's called the Kotite League. I think next year, though, it might be called the Bowles League, because I think Todd Bowles might go down in history joining Rich Kotite. So here we are. Let's make a couple of predictions before we tell people, what if there was an app for any of this stuff? Eagles record this year. I'm going to hold you on the record for it.
10-6.
No.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
You got to play the Cowboys and the Giants. 4 games there. DC is going to suck, man. The Redskins are going to suck because they lost their offensive coordinator. And I just read an article on Kirk Cousins. Man, I'll tell you, he looks lost without Deshaun Jackson.
Yeah.
Lost.
It's going to be a problem.
Yeah, because he lost his burner, and that's what he was good with. He was good with the long ball. So you say 10-6. Okay, I'm a Jet fan. I'm going to put it on the record right now. I'd like to see them go 0-16. Yeah. It would really be great. I'd like to see them go 0-16. They have no position players at all. But it's the NFL. And they are still playing the Browns. And even though the Browns have all that young talent, and they are playing the Bills. So my prediction, 2-14. Okay, they're going to squeeze 2 wins out of it. They're going to beat Buffalo once, and they'll either beat, Cleveland or Buffalo a second time, and Buffalo and then will be tied at 2-14 for the number 1 pick in the draft, and then the Bills will get it because the Jets decided to go and fuck up, right? So, and actually win. Who's going to win the Super Bowl right now?
Patriots.
Yeah, I got the same thing, man. I'll put it on the record. I think the Patriots are going to win the Super Bowl. I think they're going to play the Seahawks again.
Yeah.
I think the Hawks have that, edge to them. But you never know. The Giants,
Giants, maybe.
I think maybe Patriots-Giants Super Bowl, and then,
The Falcons could go back. Or the Packers.
Nah, Falcons won't go back. Packers won't go. It's Patriots-Giants. Brandon Marshall will catch a pass between his toes. It will bounce off his toes. It will hit him in the face guard. It will hit him in the head, and it will take his long arm, and with his pinky, he will bring the ball in. But Brady will lead them down the field, and this time Brady will get,
little
exercise, and he'll exercise the demon of Eli Manning. So, okay, what if they had apps for all the things that people are really bad at? Can you imagine an app to actually press the button of the elevator so you don't have to touch the elevator button and get anybody's germs? I mean, you just head into the elevator because everybody's staring at their phones anyway in the elevator, right? So why don't everybody get in the elevator? Okay, next time you're in an elevator, I want you to imagine this. Nobody ever talks to each other anyway because, God forbid, we actually talk to people in a confined box. I mean, to me, it's the best thing. Whenever I'm in an elevator, I look at people all the time. I go, going up? I know it sounds corny, but it works. Or, hey, look at this. We're all in an elevator together. Should we all just not speak to one another? Shh, quiet. It's an elevator. So I'm thinking there's an app. Right before you get to the elevator, you push the button, it has your floor, then you get in there, and of course the phone talks directly to the elevator, and you never have to touch it again. How about this? How about an app, okay, that fucking curses out people in traffic?
Yeah.
Right? Because you didn't do it, the app did it.
That's right.
So you can send them a direct message. Because if their iPhone, right, their iPhone actually tracks us, and Samsung, all the phones track us, so they'll know what asshole was in front of you that was texting during traffic or holding up people. So why not have an app, okay, that literally we send this. I'm going to send the fuck you, why don't you move app to them? And it comes, right? And it's done anonymously. It's like a burner phone, okay? And all of a sudden your phone goes off because the person's looking at their phone anyway because everybody is so absorbed with their phones. How about an app that talks to people for you?
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
I don't like that one.
I know, but a lot of people would, right? Because they're swiping and stuff like that. Nobody wants to talk to anybody anymore. Yeah. So what about if we just walked around and held our phones literally like GPS devices in front of our eyes, right? I want you all to imagine that right now. I want you to picture the phone in front of you, literally holding it out, arm's length, and I want you to picture that, okay? And as you pass somebody by, It talks to another person. Hey, I think you're cute. Or, wow, that's a great dress. Or, man, I've always wanted to talk to you, but I was waiting for the Talk app to come out. That would be really cool. That would get rid of all the social anxiety that people are relying on and all the excuses people are relying on not to what? Meet one another. How about an app that shuts the neighborhood dog up? All of a sudden you press it, and it's all of a sudden the dog has a muzzle on, right? Because there's always that person that leaves their dog outside all day long, absolutely clueless that the dog is barking. Because when they get home, the dog just greets them, wiggles their ass, puts a stuffed animal in their mouth, makes groaning noises, right? But and then there's always people that talk to their dogs anyway. How was your day, Schnookums? Right? The dog just wags its tail. Well, what about an app that made the dog talk? To all these people that have codependent, weird relationships that think their dogs are real. So there's two apps, okay? There's one app that we can do. We can shut the fucking dog up that's ruining our day in the middle of the day, right? Then there's another app, okay, where the dog talks. So when you come home, all of a sudden, how you doing, Schnookums? And then the dog's got an iPhone attached to its collar, right? And all of a sudden it goes, I had a wonderful day. I drove David Wygant, the neighbor, crazy all day long by barking. I gyrated on your pillow because I was having dreams of the collie down the street. I felt really good today at one point during the day. Then all of a sudden I realized, when are you coming home? Because my bladder is really full. How dare you? I'd like to leave you with a full fucking bladder, so please get the fuck out of my way so I can go outside and pee. There's an app, right? How about an app that shuts the leaf blowers off? Oh my God, right?
That's a good one.
That's a great app. So the person coming around at 7 o'clock in the morning with the right, and they're standing there and they're getting paid and they're doing their job because the leaf blower blows the leaf from one side of the street to the next. So the next day they come and blow the leaf back to the other side of the street, right? So what about an app that shuts the leaf blower down? That would be fucking great. So you can go back to sleep.
That's right.
How about an app that puts your kid back to sleep in the morning? When your kid gets up at 6:30 and thinks, yay, it's Saturday. Mommy and Daddy are home. And what about an app that you just go, boom, the minute the kid wakes up, the kid can't get out of bed because it's like a prison that goes around there. And it's like a glass prison that goes around, so the kid can't scream, yell, or do anything else. And the glass walls don't come down till 8:12. So whenever you had enough sufficient time in bed with your wife, partner, or whatever it might be, and you got to have morning sex and other fun things. How about an app for that?
That would be good.
Any other ideas you got for apps?
Get me coffee.
Yeah, that would be a good app, right? Get me coffee. So there would be it would be an app. Wait a second, because people want that coffee so badly. How about an app that you can order the coffee ahead of time? As you walk into Starbucks, your coffee is already there on the counter with your name on it. Yeah. You've already got your name bill on it. You don't have to talk to the fucking Starbuckian person, right? You don't have to sit there and go, what can I get you? I want a half-calf decaf latte, grande. I always fuck with them anyway. I always say, I want a medium. We don't have medium. Well, you do now. Yeah. Whatever your medium is, give me your medium, because I don't really want to talk Starbuckian to you, because if I talk Starbuckian, I don't even know what you guys are all saying. How about an app? Okay? How about an app that fucking turns into a boyfriend or girlfriend? And we get really creepy. What about the boyfriend or girlfriend app? Because the way people,
that's the next step.
Right? The way people, Jay, are looking at their phones nowadays, it looks like they want to fucking get off. They're staring at their phones all day long. People stare at their phones more than they stare at each other. So really, why don't we just have an app that makes you fall in love with your iPhone so you can really consummate this whole psychotic relationship you're having with your phone in the first place? Let Siri talk back to you. Hey, baby, what's going on this morning? Oh, hey, good looking. How'd you sleep last night? I slept really great because I used the Cuddle app. Because there's a Cuddle app where the iPhone grows arms and you can actually either be spooned or spoon the iPhone. How about an app where the iPhone smells good? Because God forbid any of you wipe your screens off. Hello, Petri dish. People hand me their phone to look at things and I'm like, have you disinfected that phone ever? That thing is disgusting, greasy little prints all over this. So how about an app that makes your phone grow hair? Maybe you want, if you're a woman, you have a bearded guy, because you want to go out with a bearded guy. If you're a man, you got a blonde app, a brunette app, a red app. How about a sex app on there too? Where all of a sudden the phone just opens up in a giant hole that gets wet, is literally underneath you, so you can take your phone and move it on you. And what about if the iPhone had an app called the penis app? So the shape of the iPhone or the Samsung phone turned into a good rock-hard penis. It turned into the shape exactly what you wanted. You could order it on demand. It would be called POD, penis on demand. It could be 6 inches, 6.5 inches, 6 3/4 inches. If you wanted to sleep with a black man that night, it could be a black penis. If you wanted to try an Asian guy, it would be an Asian penis, right? If you wanted a guy that looked like Conga Man at the zoo, you can do that. It's a fantasy app. I mean, you can create whatever you want. Now, right now, you might be thinking to yourself, there's no fucking way any of this is going to be possible. But let me tell you something. We become so dysfunctionally social as a society that eventually one day there will be apps for this. And we will be sitting home at night, literally climbing on top of our iPhone, grinding on top of it, and it's going to give us the best orgasm ever. And we're going to have boyfriends and girlfriends that come out of this app. We need to start talking. So here it is. Labor Day's over. Fall's on its way. Start falling in love with each other again. Start going out there and start talking to one another again. And put your phone down, because there's a new app that I came out with. It's called an ass app. And what it is it puts a hole in your ass that's big enough to stick the iPhone in. So you no longer have it as an excuse for not having a great relationship or friendships or connections with people. All right, I'm hitting the app right now to shut the dog up, and I am going to see you all tomorrow. 10-minute daily reality check out.